Good morning. I miss y'all. I do. This is just a little chit chat because I missed you guys, but I'm booked and busy. Good morning. I'll wait for some more people to come into the room. There's nothing major. Good morning, Tracy. Thanks for joining me. And Tan7J. Good morning, baby girl. Thanks for joining me. You guys are here early. We're the only ones here, but that's okay. Maybe the message is for you. Oh, I knew I said I would be back on Tuesday. So, and I didn't come. Like I said, I got a lot going on. So I didn't come on. Oh, I hope everyone is doing well. We know these people are going live. I had to take a break again. Sometimes you just have to take a break. So, good morning, my precious ones. Thanks for joining me. Sometimes you have to take a break and you get busy in real life. You got real life stuff going on. So YouTube doesn't matter. I mean, in reference to, hey, Angela, in reference to watching YouTube, but I do want to come on and just let everyone know that I'm doing well. I just needed to do some things and I'm still in the process of doing them. So you'll see me less and less while I get ready to transition. I told y'all before I was transitioning, starting a new journey. So you'll see me less and less, unfortunately, for a while until I get all my stuff together, and then I'll have more time for YouTube. But how's everyone doing? I'm doing great. Hey, I haven't been on YouTube, but I hear, everybody always want to give you cliff notes. Oh, are you watching this? Did you see this? Did you see that? And I'm like, no, because I'm not over there. And when I did come on, I normally hit channels that I watch for educational purposes to benefit me and is not mess. Good morning, Sassy. So I was listening to some stuff that, people were telling me snippets. And then, I have my beautiful Queen Diva that she goes around and she visits, a lot of different content creators. And so she was telling me little snippets of it, and she would say, go watch this. And I said, I refuse to because I'm booked and busy with real life and I needed a break. I need a break from all this foo-la-la, right? But I did do this and I was researching this because I wanted to see the difference between bipolar and borderline personality disorder, and they're very, very similar. So when you see some of the behaviors of these people, you wonder if they bipolar, or they borderline personality disorder. And they are so similar, but yet different that when the professionals go to diagnose, they have to be very careful because they look for different traits, and the dominant traits with the difference between bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder is similar. So they have to be very careful when they diagnose. I was listening to a psychologist speak the other day, and she said that's a tough one for a lot of the doctors to diagnose people because they so similar. And one difference that they said was very noticeable, and what makes the difference is with bipolar disorder, manic depression, they last for days and weeks. And I guess if it's not taken care of, it can last for years. Well, with bipolar borderline personality disorder, I don't know what's going on with this thing that it keep popping up. They have all their mood swings in one day, in 1 hour. It could be a couple of minutes. They'll have all their mood swings, where most of the time bipolar disorder lasts a long time. Borderline is just that day. They could change to several different personalities in that day. And so they said they had to be very careful when it comes to diagnosing them. But they did tap on 9 traits. They did make sure that they said they look for 9 traits. And so I think I might have gotten to 5 of them before I finished, researching and studying. I just did 5 of them, but they're very similar. When someone has bipolar disorder or any type of mental illness, if they commit a crime, and the reason why I'm saying this because of some stuff that I heard over the weekend, if they commit a crime, 9 times out of 10, I believe, and this is not statistically proven. I haven't statistically proven this, so don't, take my word. And remember, this is for educational purposes only and informational purposes. I am not a licensed specialist, psychologist, psychiatrist, doctor in this profession. I just do research and study so I can come back and bring it to you all, so we can understand some of these crazy behaviors that be going on here, because we definitely see a lot of this happening. And so, it's the behavior of the person. And unfortunately, some people are good people in their own way, but they have a lot of mental issues going on and they haven't dealt with them. And so that's the reason why they behave so sporadically, erratically, and crazy on here, we call it, right? And so a lot of times Black people don't like to deal with counseling and, therapists and doctors. They don't like to deal with a lot of stuff. We sweep it up under the rug. When I say we, not myself, but Black people in general, our African American people, our community, is like a taboo, and it shouldn't be. Hey, Sassy Butterfly, Angela Cook, Keisha, Reese's, good morning, AH, Golden Vibe, good morning. Thanks for joining me. So we sweep it under the rug, right? We sweep it under the rug. So the behavior goes on for years without being diagnosed and treated. And they said in bipolarism, you notice it at a young age. Yeah, at a very young age. So can you imagine it not being treated, and you continue on in adult life with the same problems and be, the same disability, and you don't get help for it? So that's what happens. So let's talk about it. One of them is fear of abandonment. Now, we know for a fact, before I go there, let me back up. Hey, Regina, let me back up a minute. Thank you all for joining me. There is no gym of the week because it's a short week, and I don't think I'll be back this week. And I could just drop in. I don't know. So there's no gym of the week, but next week I'll be back with the gym of the week, hopefully, and back on track, depending on how much I get covered this week with things I have to do in my real life. Right. But thank you all for joining me. Make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And if you feel like sharing, share. Thank you. There's no moderators here today. Queen Diva is busy doing something. She may pop in, but right now she's busy. So, fear of abandonment. Remember, we spoke about it, and we often see, why do these people always want to be needed, belong? They need this attention, and we've seen content creators and people in our real lives sabotage relationships, because what they're doing, they already have the fear of being abandoned by someone. So what they do is they sabotage relationships and they leave because of the fear, because simple fear. We've seen that. You don't have to do anything to them. Most people with borderline personality disorder, they say they will sabotage their relationships because what they're doing is they fear being abandoned. So they already put things in actions. So they are abandoned. In other words, they waiting to be abandoned. So what they do is set things in motion for the result to be someone abandoning them. And so I call it something like self-sabotaging. That's what I call it. They sabotage their relationships because they're waiting for someone to walk out their lives, because that's what they used to. And that's the fear they live in. And that's not good, because everybody is not meant to hurt you. Some people really care for you, and you can't see that because of this fear. So I was like, damn, I see that a lot on here. And that's why I believe, and this is just a belief. Remember, I'm not a licensed psychiatrist or psychologist of any kind, or therapist or counselor in this area. So I do believe that's why people, when they come and they do so much attention seeking here, and they believe that you don't see them. Good morning, T. You don't see them, they act out. They immediately act out because they want the attention. They don't get the attention. They already believe that even if they develop a relationship with you, or if they have developed a relationship, you go book on them. So they sabotage your relationship, and it could be, friendship, uh, marriage. We see it on here. So it's just any type of close relationship they sabotage. Number two, they unstable, or they really intense in their patterns, in their angers, in their happy moods, in their sad moods. They're really intense, and if you dealt with a person with BPD, you'll see that everything they do is intensified. When they get angry is intense, even when they get sad, I mean, when they get happy, is overly done. It's like they over hyper people. So, and then they have identity disturbance. And I thought that one was interesting because as people, just as people, and I'll take women, we like to change our hair color. We like to change our nails, our facial appearance. But according to them, people with BPD normally have identity disturbance where they constantly change. They constantly, it's like they chronically change their appearance all the time. So that's a little different from us saying, oh, I think I'll color my hair for the summer. No, they are constantly in change because they don't really know and they haven't figured out who they are, because they have multiple personalities. They have multiple personalities. So that could be tough to deal with people like that at time period, you know. But they very impulsive. We know that. We see that in people too, that we deal with in real life and even here on social media. We see how impulsive these people are. Very impulsive. If they don't agree with you, and I'll use social media and then I'll go back in real life, if they don't agree with you or they have a disagreement, they take to their channels and just start, firing bullets. They don't care where the bullets hit. They don't even have an understanding. At that point, they in like a manic state. So they just go on their lives and they just start, firing straight bullets at people who hasn't even done anything to them because they in that manic state. So you need to understand that sometime when you see people, even in real life, just start targeting you for no reason, is because if they have a mental illness, is because they in a impulsive state, they in a manic state, and they're just firing, don't mean it, and a lot of times when people trigger off and do things like that, they come back and say they sorry. Well, sorry doesn't cut it for everyone. Me for one. And I've told y'all several times on many of my lives that I am a person that's don't forgive too easily, and God is not through with me yet, but that's the person I am. I'm a hard person to forgive because in many, 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 many cases, when I forgive someone, that person turns around, do the same thing. So I have wasted my time on trying to make amends with the person, and forgive them, and they do the same thing to me. So I tend to have a hard time forgiving people, or I'll forgive them. I won't forget, but I'll move on. I would dead the relationship, especially if it's something that you done to me that really hurt me. I would dead the relationship. I don't waste time with you anymore. That's it. We've had our time. So I'm really bad at that. So I don't know what type of disorder I have. I don't know. Something may be going on with me, but I don't forgive. And if you guys watch closely in relationships, when you forgive people who continue, who has done you wrong, 9 times out of 10 they wrong you again. Now, why that is, I don't know. Maybe it's just who they are, but they turn around and wrong you again. and then they'll do it again and again. And I always use this analogy. I mean, I use this analogy quite often, and I could definitely be wrong about this. If I allow you to call me a bitch once and don't put a stop to it, you're going to continue to call me a bitch because I have told you that it was okay to call me a bitch. I accept that name. Now, I know on here, when we talk about social media in this climate, you know, bitches could be a terms of endearment for some people, but it's not for me. Especially if you don't know me. Oh, and all that. I just don't get down like that. But some people don't care because they said, well, that's not who I am. So it doesn't bother me. But that's who you are calling me, and it bothers me because I have a name. You could call me by my real name, or you could call me Miss T or anything, but a bitch is not one that you can call me and get away with it. Now, that's just me. Oh yeah, see, you're a forgiving person, you detached. Yeah. Once I forgive you, I don't know if I forgave you and you did something to me that really cut deep. Yeah, I have no more use for you. Hey, Jay, kisses back to you. I have no more use for you. And that's just who I am. And it works out well for me, you know, but too, I don't have a lot of friends, or I don't have a lot of people I call friends. You know, I just don't take the people that easily. But that's the same. And I use that analogy, and people may say, oh, that's a big difference. No, 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 that's not no different. Because if I allow you to do something to me and you do it, and I say, oh, okay, I let it go, I have given you permission. And this is how my mind works. This may not be your mind. This is my mind. I have given you permission to do what you want or to do that to me again. Even though I don't like it and it caused me pain, I allowed you to do it because I didn't put a stop to it. I didn't put a stop to it. If you tell somebody, hey, listen, I don't play that. Yeah, baby, I don't play that bitch thing. They know not to address you like that, even playing. See, you set boundaries, and that's the problem here. That's the problem here on social media in this climate. Over here in this area, they don't set boundaries. That's why they don't have real friendships. Come on now. Come on. They don't set boundaries. That's why they don't have real friendship. I set boundaries. No, we could do this, but we won't be getting down like this. We won't do this. Yeah, you okay? So that's something, but you know what? So they accept you doing that, sassy. That's okay. Some people okay, you know. But when you have a relationship with anyone, a friendship or any type of work relationship, you set boundaries. And when you set boundaries, people know what they can and they cannot do to you. And if you and your girlfriend call each other bitches and y'all fine, that's fine. That might be okay coming from my girlfriend, bitch, you know, and girl, bitch, look what I did. Okay, I know you don't mean it. I know you don't mean it. But coming from certain people, you just probably not going to get that pass. You're not going to get that pass. And so to prevent that from people to ever getting confused, ever being confused, and where my boundaries say, no, I don't play you call me bitch because you don't know me. And to me, that's a derogatory name. And when you call me that, then to me, you are calling me less than who I am. Now, that's just me. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. That's just me. But you can do what you want. You might hear my fan. You could do what you want, but that's how I get down. And so I let you know so we don't have those problems. But you know, you get down here and you get mad and you start calling people bitches and hoes and stuff like that. I don't play like that. To me, you crossing the line. And when you have a relationship with someone and you converse with them quite often about things you like and you don't like, then they know who you are, what you're about, and they tend not to do those things if they care for you. But these people become so impulsive here, and they have a habit of bitch this, bitch that, and bitch you this, bitch that, hoe you that. Yeah, I don't play that too much. So forgive me. You know, I'm just telling you straight. I'm good with not playing like that. But whoever accepts it, that's fine. It doesn't take anything away from me. So yeah, it works for me. Yeah. So, and that's what happens. So that's number 4. They're very impulsive people, you know. And the bad thing about BPD is, and bipolarism, is that they get toxic and dangerous people. They could become very, very dangerous. And that's what you need to be very mindful of, that when they're impulsive like that, when they're intense and being angry, they can cause danger. They involve themselves a lot of time in risky behaviors. But I was saying this before, and I don't think I completed it. You know, when a person with mental illness commits a crime, 9 times out of 10, and you guys could correct me, they can get away with that crime. They tend to get away with that crime. Now, you may institutionalize them and you may put them in prison, but in a lot of cases, it depends on what the crime is, and you know how it took place. Then they say, "Well, I wasn't on my med," or the legal fight is the legal defense is they weren't on their medication. And then they say, oh well, we, you know, so and so was diagnosed with, you know, bipolar disorder. They hadn't been taking their medicine, something triggered them, they snapped somebody's head off, and they weren't on their medicine, so what we on their medication, so what we're going to do is we're just going to sentence them to 30-day psych evaluation or a whole some crazy shit. But you done killed the person, you done killed the person, and you could get away with it. You could get away with it. So, we have to be careful when we deal with people and know the people that we dealing with, you know. And I heard some stuff that happened, a little bit of it, a snippet, and I'm not gonna go into details because, like I said, I'm at the point where I'm just kind of over some of this stuff, and it doesn't phase me one bit or the other. But what we do need to know is, a lot of times when we encourage certain behaviors and people act out, that we are a part of that. We are part of that. But we probably would conduct ourselves in another way or another manner, however you want to say, if we knew somebody had a problem, a serious mental illness. We probably would do things different, because I never want to be the cause of anyone getting hurt, or any type of hurt, harm, or danger being, you know, brought to someone. And sometimes when we encourage people impulsivity, that in their behavior and their intense anger, then we are adding fuel to the fire. Okay. Let me read this comment. Social media, a public outlet for people to use their social expression of any and all forms. It is up to an individual to decipher what is good for them based on their morals and or their mentality. And that's a deep statement, because you said morals and mentality. Everyone can't handle what goes on here, and we sit back sometime, especially when it comes to social media, and we laugh and we kiki ha 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 here, but we don't understand that we are actually creating more of a problem for a person with a mental illness, instead of being real with them, you know. Because a lot of times we say, you know, and I know I'm not the only one who heard this. Oh, I love you. I just love so and so. But we're not really being honest and say, hey, listen, something might be going on with it. And that may not be your job, because you're not in their lives as a family member or a close loved one. You just a YouTuber, you know, you have a YouTube relationship. But sometimes when you are upfront and for real with people and you help them realize something, then they may get help. They may take the help or they may not take the help. That's up to them. Your job is just to do the right thing, what's morally right. And sometimes we add fuel to the fire by watching some of this garbage. And for me, and I ain't talking about nobody else, I'm talking about for me, I have decided to back off a lot of these content creators because of some of their behaviors, you know, and it does not match up to me. And my expectations of them shouldn't be too much, because I really don't know these people. It's just a social media thing, and I really don't know them. But I expect them to be morally you know, their moral compass to be a little different than what it is. And so I just decided that I would back up. Yep. Hey, Dre, what's going on, baby? Thank you. Good morning. I decided that I would just take a break, but we do see a lot of mental ill people here. And I don't think that people should push some of these people because the end result may not be what you want. You know, we may be sitting in the chat egging somebody on, and then when something happened, the only thing we could say is, "Oh, I'm sorry that happened," or this and but we were in that chat egging that person on somewhat. I mean, for me, I just need to step back and take a look at what part do I play in some of the stuff that happens here. That's for me, but I'm not, hey, listen, I ain't nobody's mama but my kids, and I ain't telling grown people what to do. But no, we are dealing with people who have mental illness, and some of them may not have been diagnosed, and some of them could be diagnosed, and you know, they come on here, and this the way they deal with it is the way they deal with it. But I see a lot of masking through alcohol and weed. That's the only drugs I know. I don't know any other drugs, but from my observation, they masking with alcohol and weed instead of getting help. And they come here and they black out, and you know they expect for you to forgive them, get life on. I don't do it like that though. So the fifth one is high rates of, you know, hey, believe me, and I don't know if this is true, and I don't know if we have ever witnessed it, but they say they are really they deal with a lot of suicidal ideation, right? Ideation, right? Right. They say they deal with that a lot. Now I don't know nobody like that. You know, on here I haven't really witnessed anyone in here on here that has dealt with suicide ideation. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And I think it's been twice, but that's something to look out for. So, bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder, they are very different. They are diagnosed on a different scale by different traits. However, they could be similar. People misdiagnose, you could miss if you really not tuned into the difference. Yeah, I listened to this doctor and she was breaking it down, and she said it's a very tough one for them to diagnose because they so similar. They have similar traits. So I know it was is mental illness. What is it? Awareness month, mental illness awareness month. So I wanted to cover some of them, but one that I thought was deep too that I didn't get to, and I don't think I'll get to, is PTSD. PTSD, and the reason why I thought that one would be deep is because I think some people's childhood traumas have um childhood trauma, or it could be their adult trauma. It's just trauma in general. Some trauma they had experienced caused the behavior that they have on here, the behavior that they exhibit on here. I think so. So I really wanted to get to that, but I didn't get to that. But it is what it is. So we do remember that this is a social media platform, and people are at lived, especially adults, to come on here. Hey, baby, they had lived to come on here and do what they want and say what they want. But we are also at live not to be part of some of this bullshit that's going on here. We too need to know, how do we contribute to some of this mental illness behavior? How do we contribute to it? You know, and that's what I had to look at for myself. And so I decided that maybe I'll just go and mukbang when I do come on YouTube, or I'll go do research and study or something like that versus some of this other stuff, you know. But it is what it is. I hadn't came on here, and I received the email today, and they were concerned about me. Not so much concerned. It was a very nice email. They were concerned, wanted to make sure I was doing well. So I told them I'd probably pop on here. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Andre. I told him I will pop on here and just say hello. I would drop in and say hello. And that's why I came on today, but I won't be on very long. I just wanted to say hello. Hello, I'm doing well. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm booked and busy with real life stuff. So, hey, peace, love, Andrea. Yes, PT. PTSD is heavily undiagnosed. That's true. And I think when we talk to some of these people, and you know what, I would love to take a couple of content creators and I would love to talk to some of them on an honest base, but it's very hard to do over here because, like I was telling Andrea the other day, I said, Andrea, it's so much I would love to share with people just so they can know more about Mz.Teavalocity, but I don't, because of the climate we're in, because these immature mofos can't deal with real life and they don't see the good in it, but anything they will take and turn it around for bad. So I just refuse to come on here sometime and share some stories. Now, peace, love. I did drop in. I did a replay on you, and I watched your live, and I heard you say, and I could be wrong. I heard you say, "Is a lot you don't know about me." I would love to say, "Is a lot y'all don't know about me," and I know what form you was using it in, but me, I say the same thing. Damn, there's a lot that people don't know that I would love to share some of my stories with. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them will make you laugh, and some of them will make you sad. But it is what it is. It's real life. And I feel better and more comfortable when I could tell you my real life story, my own situations, And a lot of times I don't because of the climate that we in, the environment. So I just say forget it. Post-past traumatic stress disorder. Andrea, that is a good one. And I think that will be an interesting topic because I think a lot of people that we encounter in our lives have dealt with some type of past or post trauma. Yeah, I think they have dealt with some trauma. And the reason why we see some of the behavior is because they are still dealing with trauma. It has affected them that much that they come on here and they exhibit these behaviors because of past trauma. Not nothing we have done to them, but they feel free enough to come on here and be who they are without really saying, "Hey, Sephora, see, I missed you, baby," without saying, really, without telling their story. And some of them are bold enough to tell their story. And here's the unfortunate thing about that: when they do tell their story, guess what happens? They get drugged for it or dragged for it. For telling their story, they get made fun of. People use their story. "Oh, B, that's why you was 8." Or "I see why somebody bashed you upside your head." There's never a good reason to bring anybody bodily harm or mental harm to people. But again, if you say some stuff on here, people will turn it around and they'll start using it against you. So it's hard for you to be honest here. And the ones who call themselves being honest, their stories get told over and over and over and over as a drag, And so it makes you hesitant to really be who you are. And I don't know if that's the words I should say, to be who you are, because I'm always who I am, but to share with you a little more about me, just because of the environment we in and the ignorance that people have over here, you dare not to. And when someone tells you about life experiences and things they've gone through and how they recover from or rebounded, or how they got help and stuff, they're really doing it to help you, so you could see, hey, listen, I've been there, so I'm here now, and this is how I got here. Everything could be a teachable moment, but because of the ignorance of people, and they could say what the hell they want, I'm saying it, because of the ignorance and the immaturity of people, you can't even come on here and do what you really desire to do at sometimes because of the environment that you're in. Andrea, trauma is in all of our lives, no one exempt. Yeah, I know I've had some, and I would love to tell some of my stories and how I overcame some things, But I'm like, nah, I'll say that for later, but not right now. Yeah, yeah. Yes, the human experience. Yeah, and we all go through something that have taught us something, and some of us have come out of it very successfully, and some people hasn't. So some have and some haven't. So it's like, wow, you just want to sometimes share your story. You feeling good, you meeting people on here, and you thinking people are good. And it's like, yeah, girl, because that happened to me. Ooh, because I remember when I was 28 years old, I ran into this guy. He told me how much I loved him. I was having problems at home. Me and my mom wasn't getting along. I went out on a date with him, and then he ended up doing something to me that was unwanted, and I learned from. And then you telling your story, thinking you educating people or informing or telling, just you know, telling people about an experience of yours, and they take it and they go over on that platform. Yeah, and she was so dumb when she was young. She gonna go with this guy, he gonna buy her dinner, and then she went back to his house, and then him and his boys did something to her. She was about a stupid bee. You didn't your mama teach you better? You never go out. They'll turn it all around to try to humiliate that person, that content creator. And so it's like, damn, where do these people grow up at? When do they become mature adults? Like I said, you could be 40, you could be 30, your maturation level could be of a 10 or a 12-year old. you know it doesn't matter how old you are, you still haven't reached that maturity level. So I don't know. It is what it is. Peace, love. I'm going to tune in. Yeah, peace, love is back. Your pawn shop story was incredible. Oh, about that jury, and that was a true story. And I didn't even want to find out who did it because I didn't want my heart to be broken, because I thought and I knew in my heart of hearts who had did it, but I didn't want to think that that person had stole from me and pawned my jewelry, and so I let it go. I didn't press charges or nothing. I just never went back because I didn't want to be hurt by that person like that. Yep, I didn't want to be hurt. So yeah, but some stories, I was gonna share one. I think the other day, and then I thought, nope, these people turn the story around and they'll put a narrative, on it, and I'll just leave it. But it was a true story too, and it was a crazy ass story, but I didn't share it. Mm-mm. I don't think I did, but I don't know. Well, you guys, I said I wasn't going to be here long. I just wanted to come and let everybody know that I was doing well, and I did want to get into another mental illness, and it's a short time because we on Wednesday, so I only have Thursday and Friday for this week. I think next week, where are we next week? I want to hit PTSD because, like Andrea said, those are one of the undiagnosed, grossly undiagnosed. You know what just happened, you guys? This is the craziest thing. So I'm on my phone just now, and it says this certain person birthday is today. The person died like 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. That's some weird stuff. But it says today is her birthday, and she died, yeah, about 3 years ago. So they never closed her door, they never closed her Facebook. Ooh, that's eerie, isn't it? I don't know, y'all. I just looked at my phone. I'm sorry. When it said happy birthday, I was like, ooh, she's not here any longer. So they didn't close her Facebook. Hey, continue to pray for BB Nice, my gemologist. Continue to pray for her. She's recovering. She's doing okay, but it's a slow recovery. And that's just because of the type of surgery she had, but she's recovering. She did let me know. We reached out to her, Queen Diva and I. So please continue to keep her in prayer. And anyone else that I had on the prayer list, I can't remember right now. I have to look at it. But continue to pray. Bashful B is doing better. I think I had his name up there. He's doing better. So that's a good thing. Let's see who's up there. Anonymous, I'm praying for you, baby, and I will take care of that. I promise you that. and the entire Jim's family and Shimek Love family. I think everything probably is over for her, as far as laying her to rest. And make sure you pray for my Jim family, as always, as we pray for you all. Hey, BB Nice. Oops, I'm sorry. Hello, beautiful. Oh, you doing better. Hello, there's my BB Nice. Hey, Jazzy G, love you. Thank you, sweetheart. Appreciate that, Jazzy G. How to know when I need a therapist. Thank you, Andrea. Please drop some of that. I know I didn't put it in this live, but in the live before, you will see I listed 3 organizations you could contact if you ever feel. If I went through any of these tips or traits in my bipolar and this personality disorder. What is it? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, child. I'm tired. Let me see. If I went through there, then I do have it listed. But Andre is dropping a contact information and is a quiz. Andrea, do you know that I have taken quiz on this site that I go? I have taken quiz myself, you guys. I ain't lying. Just to see. Hey, is anything wrong with you? I have taken some of these quizzes. You would be amazed at how we ignore some of the signs when something is not wrong when something is not right with us mentally and physically. We do it all the time. Like I say, especially for African American people, we mask a lot of stuff. We mask a lot of stuff and just sweep it under the carpet as well and don't deal with it. But we need to deal with it. Oh, so Sephora said, I just survived the Rona. Oh my God, Sephora was continue to pray for Sephora. Lift Sephora up. I'm so sorry to hear that. I know I hadn't seen you, Sephora. And believe me, when I don't see people for a while, I do ask about them. But I was somewhere and I heard, after I thought about, I heard you speaking to someone and say you had just got back, but I didn't see you had survived the Rona. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad to see you, Sephora, and thanks for joining me, on your comeback. Hey, Tracy, Petty, how are you? Yes, this person right here, and Andre and I have a lot of conversations behind the scenes, and we do talk about things. And she have, along with Kimberly Black, I give those 2 ladies credit. They have told me, Andre, on several occasions, her and I go back and forth, you know, and she was telling me, the difference one time. Well, I think she was breaking down the difference herself between bipolar and borderline personality, because I tend to call people bipolar. She tends to call them, or say they may have. And, this is just us in conversation when we see behavior, because she tells me all the time, study the behavior. So I have made it a point to study the behavior and not talk about the people. I talk about the behavior. So she told me, she said, those are a lot of traits of borderline personality disorder. And I said, well, I think they bipolar. So when I did research and do my study last week, like I said, is a lot of similarity, but you have to know the traits that make them different. But they're very similar, but totally different. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but no, you guys, that's how the researchers break it down. The border researchers, whoever, whatever I was watching, that's how they break it down. The diagnostic researchers, they say they are similar but very different. And I was like, wow, okay. I see a psychiatrist every month and take meds on a daily basis. Good for you. I commend you, Tracy, because if you know that you need help, then you seek the help you need to make you a productive uh to make you whole. I was going to say something else, but to make you whole, that will help you. And I applaud you for that, because everyone don't. And I do know someone that's an adult that take meds for ADHD, and they are better functioning people. They are a better functioning person when they take their medication, and you could tell when they're not on their medication. And I have talked to them several times. If the medication help you, do what helps you. Do what helps you. Most people who have mental illness have a hard time maintaining relationships, and that's because they're not mentally balanced. You know, like I said, when we did just now, that what first trait for most people with mental illness, they are afraid that, for one, people are going to talk about them. It's taboo in our community, it seems like. And three, that they're not going to be accepted. They're not going to be accepted. But the best thing that we could do is to study it, read about it, learn about it, so we know how to deal with people with mental illness. Instead of name calling and labeling them, we need to learn how to deal with them. And a good way to do that is doing just what I do. I research it. Because it's easy for us to say, oh, so-and-so girl, oh, she crazy. Look how she acting. You know, that bee is crazy over there. And oh, who did crazy? No, for real, they have a mental illness, and we need to recognize that, so we could be better at communicating and accepting them for who they are. So I commend you, Tracy, for getting help. I had someone reach out to me too, that they get help as well. They get help as well, and how they overcome some of their mental illness mental illness breakdowns, or different things that they incur in their life, how they getting through it. So there will always be the magnet effects, positive versus negative. Just remember, you are the captain. No matter what is given, it is the choice you make for the betterment of your life. Elevate. Thank you, Regina M. Good. I'm glad you good, Tracy. And Tracy, let me ask you a question. Do you feel as though sometimes things that go on over in this environment, and this is just a question for you, love, do you think they trigger your mental illness sometimes? Do you think some of the stuff that goes on, I don't know who you are, I'm just asking, do you think some of the behaviors over here trigger you, or what does they do for you, when you watch some of this stuff? Oh, yeah. The EAP, they will help you. And most employers will help you, your health benefits. They have that you could get a evaluation and get treatment, and they pay for it. So if you feel any kind of way, even if you feel yourself slipping into depression, maybe take a quick quiz or something and see if you have those signs. I took a quick quiz the other day when I was doing depression. I just took the quiz. They had a quiz there. I just took it. And maybe it'd be good if I put some quizzes in the my detailed description details. Oh God, I'm all mucked up this morning. But how do you deal with some of the things? If you know something is happening to you and you feel it, seek help. Seek help. Don't worry about what people think about you. You know what's best for you. Who gives a damn if you have to take a medication every day to keep you mentally balanced? Who cares? Just do it. Do whatever is beneficial to you and help you cope with life, everyday life. Because when you don't get help for things like that, it's very tough for you to cope in everyday life. It's tough, 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 tough. Good morning, Miss T. Modern Check. Wishing everyone a prosperous Wednesday. Thank you, Miss Red. Wishing you a prosperous Wednesday as well. Thank you. Good morning. Okay, let's see. Thank you, Miss Red. Okay. You're welcome, Andre. It's a great conversation. Sephora, let's see what she say. My cousin has so many mental illnesses, and one of them is erotica, something which means she believes she is in a relationship with a celebrity. That's one. That's one. Yeah, you know what's a foresee? It's strange you said that, but I was watching something. Oh, it was a couple of months back, and this lady, was she on Dr. Phil? Maybe it was Dr. Phil. She really believed she was having a relationship with this celebrity. She was really believing that. You know, I forgot. Maybe somebody saw that show. But yeah, she thought she was having a relationship with a celebrity. I suffer from depression and paranoia. I always feel like people are up to no good and have motives. I may feel that way based on my past experience of certain people in my life. Yes, and that could be normal sometime when you say you have paranoia. Sometimes I'm that way. And I'm going to tell you something, Miss Red. You being in this environment, and I'm talking about over here, you being in this environment will do nothing but exacerbate that paranoia feeling. Or I want to make sure, yeah, it would only exacerbate that feeling. And that's only because so much stuff go on social media that we see. It makes us very paranoid of everything that goes on sometime. Yeah. So I could see that one being Tracy, did you ever answer my question? Let me see. Yes, people on YouTube are the worst by calling people crazy. Yeah. Yeah, treat people with kindness, set the main aim boundaries, don't diagnose anyone, be supportive, yet practice self-care. Exactly. And I think, like I said, Andrea had to tell me that a couple of times because I don't know if I was coming across judgmental or, just not looking at the severity of some of the behavior of these people. But once I start studying them, bingo, I realized what I was looking at. And maybe, I looked at a situation a couple of weeks ago and my heart kind of went out for this person. I kind of felt bad for this person. And, as I was doing my research on bipolar and borderline personality disorder and manic depression and all those things. As I was doing my research, I started seeing some of the behaviors and I felt bad for them because one thing that stuck out to me was them wanting to belong and feeling rejected and being reckless and danger and in a manic state. All I could see was that behavior being exhibited, and it broke my heart because I knew what they were going through, that I felt for this person. I really felt for this person. And there's more to the story, and I just wish not to speak on it, but I really felt bad for them because I saw what was happening to them, and I saw the response to how they responded, and I was thinking, damn, that's probably what, some people are going through. And so that happened to me, a couple of weeks ago. And so it made me study it. Treat people with kindness. Okay, Andrea. Yes, I do. That's why I delete my channel. Oh, okay. So you do, and that's why you delete your channel. And I think you change your name, sweetheart. I think I know who this is, but you change your name. Now, okay, I think that's you. I found those who are her. Yeah, I could have my own mental imbalance. Oh, you saw that one? It was on Dr. Phil. Wasn't that interesting? That was interesting. She really thought, I forgot who it was, Sassy. You remember who she said it was? I forgot, but she claimed that she was having a relationship with this celebrity. So the name of that you said is called erotica? I have to look that up. Okay, erotica. I'll look it up. Maybe we could find a couple articles on that, or I could do a little research on that, and we could watch something like that. See, that's what I like to do. Miss T, ever since you have been coming on, you've always been empathetic to people and their issues. I respect you for that. Thank you. I try to be. I really try to be. I'm just an empathetic person. So I may come across cold to people sometime because I stand on what I believe and it's hard for me to waver, but I do feel for other people. I'm very empathetic, compassionate, and I know that shows sometimes. It shows sometimes, and sometimes it seems like I'm cold. But no, that's great, Tracy. I look for it. I was sub for your other channel. Your best videos were the ones about mental health. Okay, so cool. I have to look for that. That's who I thought that was. Don't blow off my comment level. That was an important message. Is that for me, Andrea? Did you give me a message? Do you think having many troll pages and pretending to be different people is a personality disorder? I can't diagnose anything, but I think no, because sometimes I think people have troll pages, content creators have troll pages so they can say what they want, when they want, and how they want, and don't have to suffer any repercussions by someone knowing that you're a constant content creator. So I don't know if that's a personality. It could be. They could pretend to be. I know one person, she yeah, I'm gonna forget that. Oh, that's for me. Let me go back because I think she's telling me this. I think Andrea was telling me this with a smart. I know what she's saying. Tracy Petty, I find those who are harmful to others, who render judgment based upon superficial observation, tend to have their own mental imbalances. Um, you know, sometimes when I come down here in reference to that, and I don't know exactly where that's going, but I'm going to answer like this. Sometimes when I come down here and I talk to you all, I tell you guys, I said, I am having my therapy session. I said, oh, hell, I'm having my therapy session when I talk to you. I talk to myself because it helps me understand people and sometimes understand what I could be going through every now and then. So, and then, but I think she's talking about something else. Her and I talk quite a bit, but I think she's talking about something else. Andrea is right there. So I'll get back to that. I subscribe to your new channel, Tracy. Oh, so that's Tracy who I thought it was. Okay. I don't know, Sephora. I used to be Tracy's World. Okay, Tracy. Yeah. Tracy, do you find yourself, and I'm gonna drop this link. You don't have to come up here, baby, but I'm gonna drop this link. But I'm talking to you, and I'll refer to Miss Red because both of you guys just admitted to having mental illness that you deal with, and I respect you for that, and I greatly appreciated that you said it. Tracy, do you find yourself having problems with relationships? Oh, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. So, Tracy, you can answer that one. And Miss Red, this is to you. So I think you just said you find us having these type of conversation is very helpful to you. And they're very helpful to you because you think you're in a no judgment zone and people are trying to understand who you are. Miss Red, that's for you. Andrea is a mess. She is. That's my buddy though. Andrea is my buddy. I tell you, we was going back and forth with this bipolar and personality disorder. We was going back and forth with that, Andre and I. So, do you find yourself being comfortable over here because we talk about it, Miss Red, and it feels like, hold on, Miss Red and Tracy. Thank you, ladies, for admitting that, and thank you most of all for getting help. Because with you getting help, it helps us that's around you to understand you who to understand who you are. to understand who you are and accept you for Tracy's World and Mrs. Red. I really appreciate that. One day I would like for you ladies to come back on here and talk to me about that. We all can have a little candid conversation about mental illness and how you dealing with it and what hinders you. What hinders you from being who you are when you have a mental illness, if anything hinders you. Oh, okay. Yes, I feel that when you can freely express your thoughts, it feels safe. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that I made you feel that way. Thank you so much for that comment. That's what I'm here for. Remember, I'm here to uplift, motivate, inspire, inform, educate, encourage. If I could be a mentor, but most of all, turn dust to diamonds. Whatever your negative situation may be, I try to turn it around for positive. Just like what the Bible said, what the devil made for good, for bad, God turned it around for good. That's what we do over here. So I want you guys to reach out to me because I like to do a collab with you. Now, when I do collabs, we Andrea contacts you most of the times. She'll contact you, and everything is organic. There's no pre-stage nothing, but we do ask you what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with, to make sure that we always want you to feel comfortable in this environment. But I'll reach out to you. I mean, two ladies, please reach out to me because I like to do a collab with you about mental health. Okay. I think when we suppress our true feelings, sometimes people look at us as a burden or problematic. Yes, that could be true. And and is it safe to say that perhaps you just suppress your feelings because you don't want to be looked at as quote crazy? Just asking. Or I see you say problematic, but that stigma attached to people with mental illness is always they're crazy, and nobody wants to be called crazy. We have to be very careful with our wording. And again, the more research you do, the more you come in contact with people with mental illness, the better you know how to have an relationship with them, engage with them, what not to say, what to say, triggers, non-triggers. This is not always the best area for that though. Let's see, Andrea. Tracy Petty, would you please reach out to Miss T for a possible collaboration? You have a lot of knowledge in this area. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Andrea. Mz.Teavalocity, you are like a life coach. Huh? Oh, okay. Thank you, baby. Appreciate that support. See, again, I get under pressure here, you guys. I get discouraged. I get very discouraged sometime over in this area. But thank God I've learned, what makes me discouraged. And if I'm going to reach my destination and my greatness or my platform to be in my business, to brand, that I have to overcome some things. But it's very discouraging when you come down here and you see people, you see people who hitting thousands of views with bullshit, with something that's not going to benefit you at all, but is entertainment. And you just have to know your place in your lane. Hey, all star skies, you have to know your place in your lane and just stay in your place in your lane. And remember, it's social media. It's millions of platforms that we can visit if we choose to. And if you like the entertainment and the drama, that's fine. Do that. But there's limits to things, especially if you have mental illness. And it's very discouraging to come down here and come in and day out and you get little views. If you don't stay focused, you will fold. And I just don't fold. I stay focused because I know it's bigger than this. But I had to convince myself that many, many times. It's bigger than this, baby. You looking at this little, no. You gonna be here. You're destined for this. But I need you to master this. I need you to deal with this and master this so you can be great like this. And I said, okay, I accept that. But it is very frustrating sometimes. But I do come down here to encourage people that you can do it. Okay, thank you. Hey, baby girl, what's going on? Oh, Star Sky, thanks for joining me. Tracy Petty. Okay, so you guys, I'm over my hour. I don't like to stay over an hour. You know, Andrea dropped some information in the chat and I highlighted it. If you feeling any kind of way, I'm telling you, take a quiz or do a self-evaluation and see where you stand. You could be suffering with some type of mental illness. It could be the beginning of a breakdown or something. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. Don't worry about what people think or say about you. You have to always put yourself number one. You have to do self-care. You have to love yourself. You have to learn how to deal with yourself. And because most mental illnesses, when it comes to the two we just spoke about, is because people don't really know who they are. They're not comfortable with who they are. And they want so much acceptance from other people that they fail themselves. They fail themselves. Again, they sabotage relationships. You know, so I don't know. Hey, TC the Queen, what's going on, baby girl? Full moon. I'm glad you told me that. It's a full moon. I'm glad you told me that. And there's my beautiful queen. Sweetheart, I'm praying for you. I got your message. Love you very much. Take care of yourself. Take it easy. I will be reaching out to you again just to keep checking on you. TC, what's going on, my queen? I enjoyed this conversation and thank you all for your encouragement on today. We'll keep you in prayer, Miss Red. We'll keep you in prayer. Deal with your situation the way you deal with it. And then again, sweetheart, this is just advice for you. When is the load is getting too heavy over here and you spot triggers, then perhaps you need to click off and go over to ASMR mukbang or something else, something soothing. Go listen to some music, meditation. Don't let this get to you, baby. Over here could be rough for people with, mental illnesses. My first time in your chat, Queen. Thank you, Mz.Teavalocity. Okay, thank you. Appreciate you for dropping down, sis. Appreciate that. I see you all around town. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hey, Andrea. Yeah, TC. Thank you, Miss T. Of course, I'm going to look out for you. With that being said, let me tell y'all what happened. Jams Anita, this message is for you. You are greatly appreciated, Jams Anita, for making that tune for me. I greatly appreciate you, Jams Anita. And I think you left again because your channel is gone. Do what you need to do, but remember, slow and steady wins the race. This may not be the area for you. We already know what this area is made up of. But don't get discouraged. You have a talent. People could see your talent. You may just have to go somewhere else. But if you hear this message and I think you hang up in the bushes, even when you leave, I greatly appreciate you for making that tune for me. Hang in there, sis. Do what you think you need to do to make you a better you. Now, with that being said, I went to play the tune today, and because dumb on my part, I thought I downloaded it, but I'll have to look for it. Because I didn't download it, she privated it, and so I can no longer play it. I can no longer play the intro she made for me. Very nice. In fact, I was going to have someone mix it to put a faster beat. It would be hers, but to add to it so it could be a nice intro. It's already a nice intro. So let me say the right thing. Excuse me. I just wanted to, have it play a little longer. They call it the loop. I wanted them to take this intro and do a loop for me so that it would play over and over somewhat. However, she deleted her page, so it deleted that song. Crazy. It was crazy on my part, though. So with that being said, I just have to go out with my old song. with my O. So if you have any questions, concern, or a topic you would like for me to talk about, Andrea, drop that for me, or BB9. Please make sure you reach out to me at Mz.Teavalocity. You know my email. I'm working on something that someone asked me to do, so I'm working on that. I haven't forgot about you, sweetheart. I'm going to work on that. And you know what? That could be part of mental illness. Yeah, that could be part of mental illness too. Let me take a look at it, do a little research on it. I'll do a little research on it, but I haven't forgotten about you, sweetheart. I'm going to do it in the future. Definitely. So with that being said, yeah, that happened to me. Yep. I did. She deleted her page. And so when I went back, because she had emailed me it, and I went to hit on it to play it through the email. If you private the video, then it privates the song, the email, so I don't have it. That was some dumb stuff on my part not to download it. I thought I downloaded it, but I can't find it. So hopefully she'll reach out to me, and I'll reach out to her today, and she'll probably release it for me to, forward it to me. But yeah, that was a nice thing. I wanted them to do a loop on it, where it would play over and over or for a longer extended time. So with that being said, thank you so much, Queen Andrea and BB Nice, my gemologist. Thank you. I didn't have a gem of the week. Make sure we keep those people in our prayers. Prayer is very powerful. I believe in prayer. So thanks for joining me today. If you have a topic or something, please make sure you let me know. If your king's crown is crooked, help him straighten it out. If your queen's crown is crooked, help her straighten it out. Speak life and wisdom into your princes and your princesses. They are our joint heirs, our future. Make sure we're trying to create generational wealth for them. They're looking to inherit something from us. And I hope it's generational wealth. Make sure we continue to do that. It doesn't take much. My favorite thing, be a blessing, not a bother. Be a blessing. A simple hello, how are you? You look beautiful today. Oh, I like your smile. I like that hat you have on. Oh, your hair looks beautiful. Hey, can I grab that cup of coffee from you? I'll open that door for you. I'll hold that door. I'll take those groceries. Here's a couple of dollars. Grab you some lunch. A blessing is a blessing. In order to be blessed, we have to give blessings. That's just God's word. That's not my word. So make sure you be a blessing. You all stay safe. It was good seeing you today. I may not be back this week. Hopefully I'll catch y'all next week, but I'm still around. I'm just booked and busy pressing on with my new journey. So it'll take me a while to get here. Okay. With that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. See you on the flip side. Anybody have anything for me before I log out? You too, TC. Thanks for dropping down, Queen. Be safe until we meet again.